All right, now being straight up and down, perfectly honest with y'all, I cannot stand Jasmine Crockett. But I made this video because President Trump and his team, she is already getting it handed to her already. So not only am I going to show you some of the comical things that she's done already since the announcement, I'm going to show you that the lamestream media is actually pushing back against her. Why? Because she's not the one that the Democrats even wanted to run. They were comfortable with Colin Allred, former NFL player. You know, even though he's anti-Trump and anti-MAGA, but he still presents much better, more favorable. So I'm actually happy that he's out of the race. And if you're unfamiliar with him, you're going to see a clip of him where CNN tries to get him to say that he's going to support Jasmine Crockett because he stepped out of the race because she told him to, using the whole black woman shtick. But we're going to get into this. So in case you missed it, this is her campaign announcement video. Check this out.
How about this new one they have? Their new star, Crockett. How about her?
She's the new star of the Democrat Party, Jasmine Crockett. They're in big trouble.
But you have this woman, Crockett. She's a very low IQ person. I watched her speak the other day. She's definitely a low IQ person. Crockett. Oh, man. Oh, man.
She's a very low IQ person.
Somebody said the other day she's one of the leaders of the party. I said, you got to be kidding. Now they're going to rely on Crockett. Crockett's going to bring them back.
Like Jasmine Crockett really believes she's like this, you know, on Trump's mind. No, she doesn't even realize she's being clowned on. But that's how arrogant she is. Even her own staff has already said that she's more focused on being a social media star. Her district was booted. She knows that. She said, you know what? How can I get some name recognition? She knows now that the Democrats have not won in Texas in something like 50 years. But yeah, she says they haven't done it the JC way. And in this video, I'm going to show you several reasons why she will not be elected to the Senate in Texas. I mean, just already, when you see these clips, you're going to say, yep, Brian, you're absolutely right. Now, to kick her campaign off, she decided to have a little bit of entertainment. Check this BS out.
Let's get into it. Okay. She ain't never scared and she ain't never been. Always willing to go toe-to-toe against the president. I can't wrap my head around someone who votes Republican. She advocate for feeding kids. They protect folks touching them. Trump invading his own country.
I'm not even going to play that whole crap, but this is literally at her campaign announcement rally. And if you notice, if you watched any clips of it, the camera never shows the crowd. You want to know why? Because hardly anybody was there. The people that were there were her staffers and other paid people to be there. No, the Democrat Party isn't happy that Jasmine Crockett is running for Senate. Matter of fact, they're saying, oh, my God. That's why you haven't heard any one of them come out and saying, we're so happy for Jasmine and we're going to stick it to him. Matter of fact, a reporter tried to press AOC about it, and she dodged the question and refused to answer it.
Is it a risk, though, to nominate more progressive candidates? Like, let's say, Jasmine Crockett, your friend, is considering running for the Texas Senate seat. Yeah. Is that a risk to have some candidate like that?
You know, I think it's people want this to be about progressive versus moderate. Every community requires a different kind of candidate. We should be celebrating and uplifting our young people who stand up and raise their hand. And I think trying to diminish this into some like progressive versus moderate debate is so silly and small. And I just think that we're bigger than that, and this moment calls for more than that.
I mean, but let's get on now. I want you to remember something. This is the Jasmine Crockett that came to Washington.
In my mind, I'm thinking, I just got to Austin and I had to meet 5 people to get here. I don't know about this. So y'all don't know what white privilege looks like, but I'm gonna show you a little bit of something.
So you heard that first clip, right? Oh my God, I'm a Valley girl. Like, that's how she speaks in real life. She grew up in a very well-to-do family, went to a K-12 school where the average amount for school each year is around $28,000, went to a very prestigious law school. But the fact is, she went on to CNN with a show with Laura Coates. And watch how Laura Coates sets this whole thing off with Jasmine Crockett.
Your campaign launch video solely showcases the president insulting you repeatedly. Why did you choose that approach here?
If the president cannot keep my name out of his mouth, then who is it that would be better to make sure that they are in the U.S. Senate to hold him accountable? I am the one that he is afraid of. I am the one that the Republicans fear. They can say that they don't, but my governor cannot stop tweeting about me. And I know that that is out of fear, because honestly, if they really wanted me as the nominee, they would be quiet and just wait and hope to crush me. But they know my strength and they know my ability to reach people that historically have not wanted to participate in politics or had just given up. And that is how we are going to win in the state of Texas.
Your campaign.
Like, I don't understand where she gets this from. No, people tweet about you and talk about you because you say some of the most racist, vile, crass, ridiculous things. And, oh, you're a threat. She didn't. Jasmine Crockett has not passed one piece of legislation in Congress, not in the House, not one. She has done absolutely nothing. She has nothing that she could stand on. What cause has she ever represented for besides anti-Trump? Her Trump derangement is so bad where she says, oh, he talks about all the time. This is the president. He's in front of cameras all day, every day. And the only time President Trump ever even speaks about Crockett is when he's asked about her. But again, this is the Democrat naivete or Democrat delusion. They think they're more important than they really are. Now, Laura Coates don't stop there. Check this clip out where she's going to talk to her about Trump supporters in Texas. And wait till you hear what Jasmine Crockett had to say.
How will you convert those who are supportive of him to voters for you?
Yeah, I don't know that we'll necessarily convert all of Trump supporters. That's not our goal.
Do you need to?
Our goal is to definitely talk to people. No, we don't. We don't need to. Our goal is to make sure that we can engage people that historically have not been talked to, because there's so many people that you will fight for them.
If you're enjoying this video, do me a solid, hit that thumbs up, because I'll never ask you for a cash app, a super chat, a donation. You hitting that like button is more than enough. It helps get the video out there. And if you aren't subscribed to the channel, subscribe. And once you do, make sure you hit the notification bell and select all. That way, YouTube will make sure you get notified when I upload new videos.
How you make?
So this woman just said in Texas that Trump won by a significant number. What, about 13, 14 points or something like that? He beat Kamala Harris by almost 2 million votes in the state. And we know a lot of those Kamala Harris votes was illegal immigrants, dead people, and all types of good stuff. So, but she said she did what the lady Katie, is her name Katy Perry? Not Katy Perry. Katie Holmes, or the lady out in California who was running for governor, when she was asked by that CBS reporter, hey, you think you need Trump supporters? She said, no.
What do you say to the 40% of California voters who you'll need in order to win, who voted for Trump?
How would I need them in order to win, man?
Well, unless you think you're going to get 60% of the vote. You think you'll get 60%. Everybody who did not vote for Trump will vote for you. That's what you're saying.
In a general election? Yes.
But she was running in California, where her saying that is a lot more likely. If you're the lone Democrat going against a Republican in California for governor, strong chance that you could win without any Trump supporters voting for you. But in Texas, where is more Republicans than there are Democrats, and it is a red state, which they tried to turn purple, she's nuts. But this is the arrogance that she has. So imagine all of the Republicans in Texas that saw this on CNN. You think they're going to be happy about her? But it doesn't stop there. Let's listen to one of her greatest hits, because then I'm going to get into the clip where Jake Tapper confronts her on one of her specific racially charged statements, specifically about people in Texas. But check out this racially charged jargon, which shows why she is such a great candidate for the Republican Party. Listen to this crap.
Director. And frankly, when people sit around and say things like, oh, we're happy because now we feel safe. I don't know who feels safe in this country except for the white supremacists, because I specifically, as a Black woman, definitely don't feel safe. Director.
Now, this woman's worth $9 million, lives in a really nice condo, is in D.C., but throwing in the race as a Black woman, I don't feel safe. She's single, no children. Nobody wants to marry anybody with an attitude like that. But she's the biggest race hustler, and you should see it. Black Democrats are destroying Jasmine Crockett online. They're not even supporting her because she's using race and her being a woman, and it's all anti-Trump. Democrats they think their voters are dumb. They really do. And for the most part, a lot of them are extremely naive and fairly ignorant. And when I say ignorant, that means lacking knowledge. But she don't stop there. See, she thinks the Texas Senate is similar to this. Now, I want you to check out her admission of how her career got started. And you tell me what the name of this is. Then I'm going into the Jake Tapper clip.
Say because you've been gracious. Is this. When I first became a public defender, I had no criminal defense experience. And I walked in and I told my boss, Charlie, I said, listen, you should hire me. He said, why? I said, because I'm Black. Charlie looked at me like I was crazy. Say because you've been gracious.
So her reasoning for being hired as a public defender was because she's Black. And she actually believes that this is what will help her win the Senate in Texas. I don't think so. Now check out Jake Tapper as he confronts her on something she says specifically about Latinos in Texas. Check this out. Medicare costs will increase by 10%. That's as much as $215 that's going to be coming out of your Social Security check. And another thing about it is that people are going to find out that after the first of the year, many doctors are no longer going to be in network. So why take the risk? Make the phone call to make sure you've got the best Medicare plan available. Chapter has highly skilled, unbiased professionals that in a free phone call that's less than 20 minutes, they will help you make sure you've got the best Medicare plan available. It's helping seniors save as much as $1,100 a year. $1,100 gets to stay in your pocket because you know what to do with it better than any Medicare company out there. So make sure you reach out to Chapter, use the phone number on the screen, or you go to the website, askchapter.org/real politics, and get yourself protected today.
Let me ask you about a quote that you've made that has some Democrats worried about your ability to win statewide. In a December 2024 Vanity Fair profile, you talked about, quote, and I'm going to read a lot of the quote just to put it in the context, quote, all the complexities within the Latino community. The immigration thing has always been something that has perplexed me about this community. It's basically like, I fought to get here, but I left y'all where I left y'all, and I want no more y'all to come here. If I wanted to be with y'all, I would stay with y'all, but I don't want y'all coming to my new home. It almost reminds me of what people would talk about when they would talk about kind of like slave mentality and the hate that some slaves would have for themselves. It's almost like a slave mentality that they have. Now, about the time that was published last year, around 1 million Latino voters in Texas were voting for Trump. Do they all have slave mentality?
No, and that's not what that said at all, to be clear. It did not say that every Latino has that type of mentality.
No, but the ones that vote for people who believe in strong or Trump's immigration policies.
So I don't believe that the people that voted for Trump believe in what they're actually getting.
This lady is so full of crap. So first try to say that's not what it says. That's exactly what it said. Now imagine those Hispanic, Latino, I don't even like the word Latino, Hispanic people in Texas that voted for Trump that might not have ever heard about that article that she said that. But they have a slave mentality because they know they fled the country that they were from for a reason, to get away from the riffraff. And they could see, not like ignorant Democrats, they could see that what the Biden administration was letting in was people from prisons, insane asylums, and the worst that those countries had to offer. Why would a nation get rid of their best people, especially when a country that you dislike has opened up their borders? No, you tell everybody, look, I'm going to let you out of this prison, but you got to get out of here or we putting you back. And they go. Hey, you got people that are homeless, people that aren't contributing, get them out, send them over to America and let them suck off America's you know what. And that's exactly what they did. Now, in this clip right here, this is Colin Allred. This is who was running for senator, and he was in the lead on the Democrat side. He was still trailing the Republicans, but he was leading the Democrats, even over Jasmine Crockett. But she convinced him to get out. Now, check out Dana Bash, and she's going to ask him about his support for her and what he has to say. And then I'm going to show you what the supporter, the Republican Party, the commercial that they've already got out running on Jasmine Crockett, sticking it to her, but not only her, to the Democrat Party as a whole. But check this clip out of Colin Allred.
Back to the Senate race. Assuming Jasmine Crockett runs, there's another prominent candidate, James Tallarico. Are you going to endorse Congresswoman Crockett in the Senate run?
Yeah, I mean, right now I'm focused on the 33rd district that I'm hoping to serve, and I'll be making some statements about that down the road. But I can just say that I'm friends with Jasmine. I've known her for some time, and I think it's important that we go into November with a unified party ready to take on Cornyn, Paxton, Hunt, whichever.
Sounds like you want Tallarico to get out.
That's your words, not mine.
Okay.
So that's what Dana Bash wanted to put it as. If he was going to support her, why wouldn't he just say it? If he wanted Tallarico to get out, why wouldn't he just say it? He said, I'm focused on the 33rd district and yada, yada, yada. No, dude, he's smart. He doesn't want to, endorse her. And then Tallarico ends up winning. And now, he's looking like a piece of crap. And that's his home state. So Tallarico wins and you didn't support him. Then that camaraderie of kumbaya is over with, a done deal. Now, check this out right here. This is a great marketing ad. Let me see who put this out so I can share it with you. The GOP just dropped a devastating ad on Texas Senate candidate Jasmine Crockett, and it is brutal. She dared people to find a clip of Democrat invoking violence, and the ad fires back with her own words. You punch, we about to beat you down. And that's just one of the 20 examples they put on the screen. She walked right into it. Boom. Check this out.
I challenge somebody to go and find a clip of a Democrat invoking violence.
Let's extinguish him for good. I will go and take Trump out tonight. We're going to fight it in the courts.
and we're going to fight it in the streets.
When they go low, we're going to bury them below the Capitol. That's what we're going to do.
We take them to the mud and choke them out.
You know, there needs to be unrest in the streets for as long as there's unrest in our lives.
I just don't even know why there aren't uprisings all over the country, and maybe there will be.
We're walking down a damn different path. We're fighting fire with fire. We're going to punch these sons of bitches in the mouth by taking behind the gym and beat the hell out of them.
Now punch back, kick back, dunk over their heads, and win some fucking power.
Fight back, punch back, and make sure that they stay down. And you know what? Kick them when they're down because they deserve it.
I think that you punch. I think you punch. I think you're okay with you okay with punching.
We are at war. And that's why the gloves are off and I say, bring it on.
We are not only going to punch you back, but we are going to knock you out.
Like we're in a war right now to save this country, and so you have to be willing to do whatever is necessary in order to save the country.
Well, I am here to tell you, not only are we going to punch back, but we about to beat you down.
And goddamn it, shut down the city! We are at war!
When they go low, we kick.
Even in states where Donald Trump won big, that it does you any good running away from Donald Trump. I think you need to go back and punch him in the face.
Let's make sure we show up wherever we have to show up. And if you see anybody from that cabinet in a restaurant, in a department store, at a gasoline station, you get out and you create a crowd. And you push back on them. And you tell them they're not welcome anymore, anywhere.
And you know what's funny about this is that you heard them spewing all of that crap, but whenever the tables turn on them and the lunatics are circling them, the lunatics are attacking them, you ever notice all of a sudden they want peace? You know, we need to have some peace. You know, we need to take the temperature down whenever something happens to them. But when it's all about going to the conservatives, it's all good. We have to be on a mission, y'all. If you listen to the rhetoric and you look at the fact that the lamestream media, you know, one of the most frustrating things, if there had to be anything about this, it is listening to the media be so complicit, not push back, spew lies. And you got to ask yourself, what is the upside to y'all destroying the country with these Democrat policies? These anchors on these networks and these people, all of their family members aren't eating off their salary. Matter of fact, I'm willing to bet that for the most part, most of their families are middle class or lower middle class. So these damages that they do affect everybody. And they're fighting for it. But when Biden's prices was high, it was hitting them too. But they have to act like they just love it and it's not hurting them. At what expense? Is Soros like promising them like, hey, if y'all help this get accomplished, I will make y'all the head of your own propaganda networks? Are they telling Democrats like, hey, if you sell out everybody and you help us destroy the country, we'll make you the king or queen of a province? What are they telling them? Because it is just illogical in my mind why anybody would think hiking up taxes is a great thing. 25, 30 million people in the country undocumented is great. And then to have them fight for these people not to be thrown out. And you know what happens? You and I both know what always happens. The same people that they're saying they want to be here, eventually you're going to start seeing a list of Democrats that are coming up hurt, unalived, and all types of stuff. And guess what's going to happen then? We need to get them out. Obama deported 3 million and they were, yes, singing and dancing. They were all about deportation until Trump. And this is why their Trump derangement is putting them in a position where even Democrats can't support the stuff there. They're defending drug dealers now. They defend PDF files. They work with PDF files. They beg for money from PDF files. They want men in women's bathrooms. These folks are insane and deranged. So I just wanted to bring you this video to get a good laugh, let you get a good laugh and see. This is what the Republicans are up against in Texas. And if I was President Trump, I wouldn't even speak that woman's name again because she's using it and trying to spin it like he's afraid of her. And everybody knows this man then went through real wars, not some little chick who's never had a real job, never ran a business, never ran anything but her mouth, has high turnover on her staff. Her staff don't even like her. She's pompous. And I believe if they do some digging, they're going to find some weird money going on. Because how does a member of the House on $174,000 a year salary all of a sudden balloon up to a $9 million net worth? Kind of like Ilhan Omar, $174,000 a year salary. But yet within the last 3 years, it balloons up to where you got a net worth of $30 million on the heels of the $1 billion, at least $1 billion worth of fraud in Minnesota. These investigations that the Trump team is doing, they're surgical, and I assure you, they're timing them just right. See, when you're going into the midterms, you don't want to peak too soon. If you peak too soon, it gives too much time for the voters to forget. and then you go into the midterms kind of at square zero. You save the heat. That's why we should not panic about the economic agenda. The midterms are almost a year away, 11 months in a week or two. And if you notice, gas prices are down. Things are happening. The big, beautiful bill is starting to trickle through. And wait till after tax season when people see they got much more money back on their tax returns. Remember, people haven't got a chance to really feel the effects of the Trump policies. Now they are at the gas pump, and you seeing Democrats get online and make videos about how low gas is. And they can see the numbers. It hadn't been this low since Trump was in office the first time. I think May of 2021 was the last time gas was as low as it is right now. Ironically, what's that? 4 months after Biden got in office? Next thing you know, boom, inflation took off and everything jumped up. So prices are coming down. The directives are working. And so I just wanted to bring that to you. So if you've hung out and you watched it up to this point, I want to thank you from the top and bottom, Mark. Leave a comment. I want to know what you think. If you haven't already, hit that like button. And if you aren't subscribed already, subscribe. Most importantly, I want you to stay safe and you be great. I'm Brian Maxwell saying I look forward to seeing you at the top. Over and out, y'all.